everybody, it is me, FreezerBunny, and welcome back to another Sims 4 speed building video. Today we're doing another Sims 4 Disney-themed speed build. A lot of you guys really liked my previous one, so I'm happy to bring you guys another Disney-inspired build. So today we're traveling to Hawaii to build the Lilo and Stitch house. So in this video, I'm mostly going to be talking about the house and of course Disney stuff and Lilo and Stitch stuff. I'm also probably going to be talking about some of my recent projects that I've been working on, as well as some personal stuff if I run out of things to talk about. Okay, first things first, I hope you guys had a great Easter. It took me quite a while to build this, but I had a lot of fun, and I had some time for the Easter holidays to actually work on this build, and I think it actually turned out really nice. I'm so proud of myself. Once again, the interiors are on fleek. Can you call interiors that? Anyway, literally like every inch of the interior is decorated with some sort of clutter and filled with awesome stuff. So even though it looks like it's a small house, it's filled with a lot of really cool things. And yeah, so Lilo and Stitch is a Disney movie, animated movie that was released in the early 2000s. And if you have been living under a rock this past 10 years or so, then I will explain what Lilo and Stitch is to you guys. Okay, so Lilo and Stitch is a story about a family that's struggling. Lilo is a young girl. I'm guessing she's in elementary school. When she was young, she unfortunately lost her parents. Of course, this is a Disney movie, so that has to happen somehow. And she now lives with her elder sister, Nani, and Nani is under a lot of pressure to provide for Lilo, because if she can't, the authorities are gonna take Lilo away from her. So this is kind of like the background of the situation. So, it's pretty dark. I mean, it's pretty, it's kind of sad, especially at the very beginning. Plus, Lilo's life is pretty much miserable in school. The girls in her school are picking on her and things like that. So Lilo has no friends. She's kind of a loner until one day she decides to adopt a pet. And she incidentally adopts an alien. I know it sounds really bizarre, but for some reason, the dog that she adopts turns out to be an alien. So this is where, she meets Stitch, and, eventually they become really close friends. They become inseparable, and they also become friends with other aliens as well, Pleakley and Jumba, and together they kind of hunt for other aliens that are found all over Hawaii, which Stitch calls his cousins and stuff like that. So it's of course, it's a lot more than that. The story is a lot more than that, but that's pretty much the gist of it. Eventually Lilo kind of accepts Stitch as a part of the family, and Stitch eventually decides to stay on Earth and help out, make Earth a better place and stop it from being destroyed by his cousins that are aliens. It's a really interesting story, but what I love about Lilo and Stitch is that it takes a very heavy, mature storyline and somehow makes it relatable for all ages. I watched it when I was younger and I loved it because it was really entertaining for me. It had a lot of comedic aspects to it, but looking back at it as an adult, I'm already 22 and I feel like really old when I'm saying that, but yeah, looking back at it as an adult, I really appreciate more the story between Lilo and her sister Nani, because I think that's where a lot of the emotional backbone of the story is, because by the time Stitch comes in, it becomes very comedic and kind of comic relief. Nevertheless, it's an amazing story, and I think this movie kind of marks the trajectory of Disney films that were to come in the future, where they're trying to be more mature and kind of like more family oriented, as opposed to being more romantic and princess themed and stuff like that. So yeah, like other movies that kind of came out during this time were let's see here, Brother Bear, which I also really like, and even Up, like it has like the same story between siblings and family loss and strength. So it's a really, really good story. So yeah, I also have to give a special mention to the Lilo and Stitch soundtrack. It's awesome. They remixed some songs from the King, Elvis Presley. It's really, really awesome. Lilo and her sister Nani are that kind of people where they like kind of vintagey music, and that's really, really fun. I think it gives the movie a really special character because of that. So, yeah, as you guys can see, I spent quite a lot of time actually working on the outside of the house, but pretty much like maybe I'm gonna say probably like 2/3 of this video is mostly just me decorating the interior. The house itself, some technical information, has 2 bedrooms, 1 bathroom, a living room, kitchen and dining, and a laundry area as well. So it's not that big, it's a pretty good medium-sized house. But like I said earlier, the interiors are literally insane. They are like, there's so much clutter. You can really see the pressure on the family to kind of survive financially because they don't have time to clean their own house, if you guys get what I mean. So it's, I kind of wanted to put that into this building. And yeah, in a little bit, we're actually gonna be moving locations because I didn't feel like this place in Oasis Springs was that appropriate. I wanted more. There we go. We just moved locations. So this is where the house will be located for the rest of the build. Of course, you guys can place this thing anywhere, but I feel like the surrounding forest area is really beneficial to the look that I was going for. And if you actually look at reference images of the house that they have in Lilo and Stitch, the one side of the house is actually kind of built on the slope of a mountain. So that's kind of what I was trying to recreate here. I wanted to make it look like there was like some sort of a hill on the left side of the house. And one of my favorite scenes in Lilo and Stitch actually takes place in this area. It's the scene where Lilo and Nani are on a hammock and Nani sings out the iconic song Aloha. I don't know what the name of the song is. I don't know. You guys know what I'm talking about, but that's kind of where Nani tells Lilo that, there might be a possibility that she's going to be taken away. They're both going to be separated by the authorities. It's a very touching and kind of really impactful scene for me. One of my favorite scenes in the whole movie. And I have to also point out that the use of the song, I'm not really sure what the name of the song is, Aloha, but the use of the song is particularly well done. So I was trying to make this like some sort of hill area by building an organic looking foundation and covering it with some rocks and some plants and all that good stuff to make it look like how I wanted it to look. And I actually think it actually turned out really well. Of course, in The Sims 4, we don't have any terraforming tools, unfortunately, because in The Sims 4 is the first Sims game to not have any terraforming tools at all. So it's a step back if you ask me, but we builders have to be innovative and we find ways to achieve what we want. So I think the fact that you can enlarge some items really help. So you guys can see me make use of the rocks and different foliage and plants and things to kind of make it look like a hill. Of course, it's not 100% exactly like it is in the movie. Of 100% accuracy is not something you can achieve in any Sims game, not just The Sims 4. So I did try to make it look the part, but even more importantly, I wanted it to have the same feel. So throughout this build, you guys will see that I did go for a little bit more of a cartoony vibe, but at the same time, I also tried to keep in my touch, if you guys get what I mean, my brand. So yeah, and I think I'm really, really happy with it, actually. I don't know why. It took me a really long time to build it. Probably because I took extra care with all the little details. Lilo and Stitch is something that I've been watching throughout my childhood. So building their house, for me, it was really, I felt like I personally knew the people who lived here, Lilo, Nani, Stitch, Pleakley, and Jumba. I felt like I knew each and every one of them individually. So when I was decorating the house, I had like their personalities in mind and all that stuff. So finally, we are working on the interior. So yeah, I tried to make it as kind of, authentic as I can, though. So I used a lot of reference images from Google, and yeah, so I tried, I did my best. This is, after all, a recreation of their house. So in the end, I did take some artistic liberties, but overall, I think it turned out really, really awesome. And I'm so proud of myself for actually being, detail oriented on this one. I really paid such close and minute attention to all the little details, and I think it actually really worked. So the first room that we're gonna be working on is the living room. So basically the look that I went with is a little bit shabby. Lilo, her family isn't the wealthiest, so I tried to use furniture that kind of was a little bit on the lower class of society, if that's acceptable to say. A little bit more hand-me-down or like worn out furniture. I like the look. Lots of mismatched as well. The woods, I tried to keep it a similar look overall, and but yeah, it's I did my best to make it look as close as it is to the actual house that they have. And I actually followed the layout of most of the furniture items. So the sofa, the TV, even that bookshelf right next to the door, which is supposed to be some sort of like a partition thing. It's really there in their house in the movie. So yeah, basically all the major furniture is where they're supposed to be. I did throw in a couple of furniture that was of my own choosing. In particular, I put so many plants in this house. I don't know why I placed so many like foliage, like indoor plants and stuff, but I felt like, this is Hawaii. It has like amazing weather 24/7, 360 days a year. Why not grow plants indoors? Why not? And I am beginning to notice that the clutter items that come with stuff packs are very, very useful. You guys can see me throw in a couple of items from Cool Kitchen, as well as movie hangout stuff as well. Those are really, really awesome. And I think that for the look that I was going for, they work, So the style, it's, as I mentioned before, it's kind of all over the place, mixed and matched. Nothing too matchy, but overall I think we can consider it as contemporary. It's somewhat traditional, but also has like some sort of modernity to it as well. And of course it's Hawaii, so we have to have our bright colors and all that good stuff. The lighting is also quite different, I guess, because I used lights that actually came with a base game, and the lights that I used had like a very small range of the area that they illuminate. And I think that really kind of makes it look like an actual I'm sort of a budget home, if you guys get what I mean. I tried to recreate the lighting that they have in Lilo and Stitch as much as I can, and I think that really worked. I think I was able to achieve it, so I'm really, really proud. Once again, just throwing in a bunch of really random clutter stuff, and also another important tip that I can give you guys who are probably struggling when it comes to building is that don't limit yourself to just one light source. It's always great to have a hanging light, but also consider throwing some lamps, on floor lamps, or like table lamps, or even like, I don't know, sconces. I think it really gives the interiors a lot more depth and dimension if you have diverse lighting. I also used quite a lot of curtains actually when I was building this, and it was really, really fun. Those tiles are the closest that I can find that are similar to what they have in the movie. So yeah. Anyway, I guess I'm gonna talk a little bit about my personal stuff. Nothing too crazy, but as I mentioned in my previous update video for the month of March, I'm really I'm kind of at a low point in my life right now, academically, specifically when it comes to my studies. I'm finding it really hard to kind of perform really well, and it's not that I don't it's not that I don't try. It's just I'm at a point where all of my courses are so difficult, like it's insane, and each one of them you have to really pay close attention to and really focus, and that's impossible for someone like me who has the attention span of a goldfish, literally. It's so hard. Like I have a psychology class. I have to do like 2 interviews. I have a really, really complicated materials class, which is kind of like a mathematics class. It's crazy. And of course, the cherry on top of all this negativity is that the thesis that I've been working on for the past 3 months unfortunately got rejected. So I'm gonna have to retake that course another time. So it's kind of a big blow, especially seeing my parents kind of excited about me finishing my studies and stuff. But yeah, I just want to let you guys know that I'm okay. I'm much better than I am from when I did that one update video. Cause when I did that video, everything was still fresh, and now I'm feeling a little bit okay. And, spending some time building this house in Lilo and Stitch kind of really made me appreciate my family a little bit, as cheesy as that sound, because when this is so personal now, but when I actually told my mom that I didn't make it, the first word that came out of her was congratulations, because she knows that how hard I was working on it and how many literally sleepless nights I spent, and I did not expect it to come from her, but she's probably not gonna say this or see this, but I am so grateful for having the best parents ever. Like, it's crazy. So I just want to let you guys know that I'm okay. Please don't worry. I've received a lot of messages from you guys, if I'm fine, and I am okay. It's only my thesis. I mean, it's nothing life threatening. I will overcome it eventually. See, just be positive, you guys. And I think it really helps if you have a lot of support from the people that you love. So, yeah, once again, no need to worry. I'm totally fine. I'm actually excited to give it another go, next term, which I believe begins in May. So we shall see. Anyway, so, I actually want to know what your guys' favorite Disney movie is. I've asked this in my previous builds, and a lot of you guys said, actually a lot of you guys agreed with me that, like, Treasure Planet was, like, one of those underrated movies, because I really like that. So yeah, anyway, we're working on Nani's bedroom, which is Lilo's elder sister, and those ribbons that I placed on the wall are actually a little bit of an Easter egg for me, because the colors that I chose were the colors of my country's flag. Red, white, blue, and yellow are the colors that are in the Philippine flag. So a lot of you guys are very surprised every time I say I'm from the Philippines. So hello, mabuhay, kamusta? Yeah, literally every time I drop the bomb that I'm from the Philippines, a lot of you guys are like, I can't believe it. You don't sound like it. I don't know. In school, I talk mostly in Tagalog, but I don't know. I speak in English with my friends and stuff like that. So yeah. The dining room is actually really interesting because the reference images that I was looking at had different tables in it. So I just included both of them. We have a square table that seats 4, and we also have this really long table that seats 6. So most of the images that I saw had they were using mostly the 4-seater table, but some images I saw had a really long rectangular table right next to this window. So I just placed it, but instead of having 2 dining room tables, I used the other longer table as kind of like a container for random kitchen stuff. So yeah, also you guys might see me change some clutter items as well. Nothing too crazy. I just changed some lights and some clutter items. There are a ton of clutter items in the game. There's like a crap ton. So every time I see something that would work, I will change it, and if it's for the better effect that I'm going with, then I would choose to incorporate it instead. But nothing too crazy. Most of what you guys will see is how it's gonna be in the end. So we're working on the laundry area right now, which is completely useless. This room does not have any function at all other than the fact that it's there in the movie and in the series. By the way, Lilo and Stitch, there's also a TV series, and I watched probably every episode of that series like more than 10 times. You know what? Here's the question for you guys. Who is your favorite experiment in Lilo and Stitch? I have to say that my favorite one would probably be Angel. I liked her relationship with Stitch the most. Plus, she's like one of the only few experiments that actually recur. She kind of comes in and out of the series and stuff like that. So please let me know if you've watched Lilo and Stitch, or if you haven't, just let me know your favorite Disney movie. I'd love to hear what you guys have to say, and maybe I'll have more things to talk about in the future videos that I'm gonna make. I'm definitely gonna be making more Disney themed builds because a lot of you guys really like it and appreciate it. So it's much more fun to build on something that a lot of people like and respond positively to, because I know I say this all the time, but you guys are my motivation and you guys inspire me to make better content for my channel. So I feel like it's an effort for both of us. Final room that we're going to be working on is Lilo's bedroom, and you guys will see that I took my time. I wanted it to be on point. And I literally filled up this room with a crap ton of clutter. Like, it's not even funny. I know I say this in every video, but we need more beds. We need more beds and we need more bed sheets. So yeah, Lilo's bedroom actually has like a canopy bed. Of course, we don't have any canopy beds in The Sims 4, which is kind of weird. I would expect to have some by now, but we don't have any. So I had to make one myself, using some curtains and some shelves. I wanted to have like a shelf on the top, so that something would look like it's, there would be something that supporting the curtains, but they just didn't work for me. They didn't want to line up. Plus they were trying to attach to the wall. So, it's crazy. So I eventually didn't use any of the shelves on the bed. Also, we don't have that many beds that have yellow colored bed sheets. So this is the only one that was available, So there we go. Once again, I'm taking my time with this bed. So anyway, this part took me about an hour to build. Literally, like, this part took me like an hour to build. But when I was watching, I'm losing train of thought. The overall video took me about 4 hours, 20 minutes. So everything you guys see is a compressed version of those 4 hours. And this part until the end took me about an hour. So this is like the last hour of the video. I was watching PewDiePie's Let's Play on dragon cancer or something like that. I'm sorry, I don't recall the video. He just uploaded it, by the way. So if you're watching this on the day of the upload, it's a really new video. And it was just such a painful thing to watch because it was a video game about cancer. And a father's, difficulty, taking care of his child, that has cancer. And, it's so sad because the kid's only a baby and he already has cancer. And what makes it even more kind of sad is that the story is about real life, The developer of the game experienced everything firsthand. And he even has negative views towards Let's Players, which I don't know. I don't want to get into that, but it was such a sad thing to listen to, especially when you're building like another really emotionally challenging speed build. But I am actually very happy that I took the time to listen to it while building this, because I feel like, even though it only probably gave me a really, really small glimpse of how it's like to experience cancer and stuff, I feel like I have a little bit more of a better understanding to it. So in that sense, I think that the developer of that game somehow succeeded in spreading the message of cancer and how bad it is, not only to the people experiencing it, but also to the lives of the people who are involved with it. Like, it really destroys you psychologically. So once again, Lilo is her bedroom has a ton of clutter, and I don't know, I really like it. I feel like she would love this room, and I feel like she would be so happy to live in it. So that's that. So I'm pretty sure at this point you guys can kind of guess that I put a lot of emotion into this. I don't know why. I just have a lot of really heavy stuff to deal with in real life, that I somehow channeled through the art that I make. And, part of it is kind of in this video. So I don't know how you guys will take that, but take it for what it is, I guess. Okay, so we are approaching the end of this video. We're pretty much gonna be just placing in some plants and stuff. Over here, this little pause, I went for a little bit of a break, grab some water, and kind of turn on the air conditioning because it's really hot. I know springtime just began for you guys in the States, but in my country, summertime is summertime is starting. So actually really excited. I am looking at a road trip with my friends, this coming April. We might go to the beach or something. By the way, just to give you guys a little bit of perspective, most of my friends who took thesis with me also didn't make it. So, there you go. At least you guys know that I'm not dealing with it alone. I have my family, I have my friends, and I have you guys. So, I am so grateful for each and every comment that I receive. Like, literally. I might not reply to all the comments, but I swear I read every one of the comments, okay? So if you have anything to say about the build or about my life personally, maybe some advice about how to be better in school, then please go ahead and say it. I'll try to be more responsive. The last couple of plants that we're going to be adding are these coconut trees actually, and I threw in one tree over there just to give us a little bit more diversity. I love this kind of corner area where there's like lots of coconuts. That area, we're supposed to have a hammock, but we don't have any hammocks in the game, so I just placed like a bench there instead, and I placed some crates over here in the back because I wanted it to look like you know, like a little bit more of an unkept area of the house. Like, you know, like the front looks nice, the back looks crazy, but that's kind of how I wanted it to look like anyway. So we have a bunch of really interesting clutter items, and yeah, most of the landscaping is done at this point. The finishing touches are some lighting fixtures, nothing too much, just a right amount to have that mix of dark and light at night. The lighting in The Sims 4, once again, I have to bring this up, is amazing. So, you know, that's one thing that I love about The Sims 4. So instead of using a hammock, I just placed these chair and those kind of like rugs or something that look like wood. I don't know why, but I think they look good. So that is going to be it for the speed build part of the video. We're going to go ahead and cut into the floor plans so you guys can see how this house works. Okay, so yeah, that is going to be it for my commentary part of this video. I hope you guys had fun. Once again, please comment down any suggestions. I love hearing from you guys, and as I mentioned, I read each and every comment, even though I don't reply to everyone. I'll try to reply as much as I can though. So yeah, anyway, that is going to be it for my speed build video for the month of March. I hope you guys had fun watching it. It was amazing to build, and yeah, once again, please don't forget to hit that like, favorite, and subscribe button if you guys had fun watching this video, because it really does help out the channel a lot. Okay, you all have an awesome day. Thank you guys so much for watching. Enjoy the rest of the video, and I will see you guys next time. Bye bye.